Katahdin is calling from Georgia to Maine, more than 2,000 miles. My feet keep me sane with the good days and bad, the joyful and the sad. Adventure awaits without a care or blame.
Hey everybody, it's Billy Mitchell here, back with another AT2026 through hike video. Today I am going to be running down my gear list for this year's through hike. So without further ado, let's get started. So I've pretty much got everything right here in one spot. I'll start off with the big three. So first off, I have, let me zoom out. I've got my Osprey 65 liter backpack, and it's already sporting my Spot GPS device for my SOS functions, and I have it like locked onto my backpack. I'll pull it off when I'm flying because I'm gonna have to check the bag, and I'll put it inside the backpack so it doesn't possibly get broken or lost or stolen or whatever. So that's my backpack. Honestly, the backpack is going to be too big for me, size-wise, not necessarily weight-wise. I can fit everything in there and have room left over, but I'm not going to trade out backpacks right now. I don't want to spend the extra money right now to do that. So there's nothing wrong with this backpack. And Kat, why are you sitting on my foot? Why are you sitting on my foot? Thank you. So, anyway, so that's the first of the big three, backpack. Second is my tent. It's a Close Nature 1.5 person tent. It's a double wall tent. I did buy the ground cloth for it. It should be in the bag. I have never taken that thing out of the bag, so I'm hoping everything's in there. I'll double check it before I leave. For the third of the big three, I have a Climate Wild Aspen 20-degree bag. As you can see, it's very compact, but still weighs like 4 pounds. So it's between that, the tent, and the backpack. Those are the heaviest things that I have. For the rest of my sleep system, I have an accordion pad, and I also got the Climate Static V inflatable pad to go on top of it. Oberon, hush. Leave the cat alone. Those two are constantly fighting. Oberon and Sylvester. My shoes are not Tweety Bird. So that's my sleep system right there. The tent, the accordion pad, and the inflatable pad. Okay? And obviously the sleeping bag. So for my cook system, I have a Tokes 750 milliliter pot. Inside of it, I have a lighter and an MSR Pocket Rocket 2. I also have a titanium long-handled spoon. That is my cook system. I have a Sawyer squeeze. For my electronics, I have a 26,000 milliamp Anchor with I think it's a 14 milliamp secondary charger bank. And I have the cord in there for the second charger bank. I also got a 2 terabyte iPhone external hard drive, and it has all the cords like built in, and it comes with a charger cord separately. So that's what all my photography and videos are going to go on. Mainly photography. The videos I'm just going to download onto here after I make the videos. And then, oh no, I'm still working that out. The tentative plan is to, at the end of the day, make my daily video and then put it on here. And then when I get into a town, I'll take them back off of here onto my phone, upload them to YouTube. I know it's a lot of steps, but I probably won't start doing that until I start running out of room on my phone. If that happens, I'm going to be downloading the photography every day to this, the ones I'm not going to be using in the videos. So that's the external hard drive. I have 3 plugs. I also have a cord for my spot device. I have a cord for my Garmin watch because it takes this funky adapter. And a couple of other cords for different items. So that's my electronics, and also my phone, obviously. For lighting, I have a Black Diamond battery-powered headlamp. But in case I get in trouble on trail, I'm going to have these clip-on lights. I might just carry them in my pocket until I need them. So if I get separated from my backpack and like fall down a cliff or a mountainside and I'm hurt, I can clip these onto my person. If I have my backpack, I can clip them on my backpack, but this one's blue and it flashes fast and slow. And I have a red one. I don't know the legality of using red and blue together. I think only the police can use it, but I can definitely use the red one. And that way it's easier for the rescue teams to find me. I have a poop trowel in this case. It's a little folding metal trowel. I have an emergency blanket, the foil blanket. This is also going to go in my cook system. It's a little multi-tool. It's just got a tiny little knife and a pair of pliers. I don't know why I'd need pliers, but I might need pliers. You never know. I have a bracelet kind of made of the 550 paracord with a compass and that little ring right there has like a little saw blade in case I need it. I also have a larger bundle. I think it's 100 feet of paracord with a carabiner in case I need to hang my food bag. I have extra sports bottle caps. I think this one's broken. I like having those. That way you don't have to unscrew your water bottle to take a drink. You just flip it up, drink it, flip it back down. I like those. Now, for clothes, I have a buff. I've got some wool gloves, and I've got some heavy winter gloves in case I need them. I have a pair of thick wool sleep socks. I have a pair of Injinji toe socks. And I'm going to be carrying 3 pairs of darn tough socks. One thick for when it's really cold, one regular, and I have a pair of ankle socks. Okay. Now the darn tough socks, yeah, the thick ones are probably going to be for when it's cold. The ankle socks and the blue socks are going to be for every day. I can switch them out. I have a watch hat, and I have a pair of base layer pants and top. They're Polar Extreme brand. They're extremely warm. I have a Columbia quarter zip pullover fleece. I've got 2 pair of underwear, and I'll be wearing a pair onto the trail. So I have 3 waterproof bags that are Sea to Summit. I think it's a 4-liter, 8-liter, and 13-liter. I'm still working out my bag system. I'm sorry. I'm probably going to end up, I don't know. I'll work it out. I still need to find out what I'm going to be packing my food in. I'll probably need to get another bag. I also have a set of Frog Tog rain gear, and it came in a little bag, so I'm going to be using it as well to store stuff in. Probably my gloves, my hat, my buff, the stuff that I need possibly quick, I can put in the brain of my backpack. Let's see, that pretty much does it for the gear on the table. What I'm going to be wearing is going to be these pants. I really wanted to get a different pair of pants, but these are going to work. They're kind of heavy duty. It's ripstop fabric. It's got the stretchy waist with little little rings. I don't like the cell phone pocket in the front like that. So I probably won't be using it. I'm honestly probably going to put my phone in the hip belt pockets. I think that'll fit in there. If not, I can find another pocket to put it in. I'm going to be wearing the ankle socks, and I'm going to be wearing a YMCA of the Rockies t-shirt. It shouldn't be cold enough that I'm going to need to wear the polar fleece. I don't know what February 28th, March 1st is going to be like. That's when I'm traveling. So that's the clothes I'm going to be wearing. That does it for the gear. Yeah, I mean, I've got my extra clothes. I've got my electronics, my sleep system, my cook system. I have a bag of Element electrolyte powders. Oh, I have this rag here. You get it wet and put it on you, and it feels really like cold. So it's gonna be a lifesaver in the summer. As far as my jacket goes, I've got a Columbia 650 fill puffy jacket. Hopefully it's going to be warm enough. If it's not, I'm also going to have my bearskin hoodie. And it's got my little patches on it. The Gecko's Trails patch and an AT patch. And I'm going to be wearing my Estes Park, Colorado hat. And sunglasses. Also, I will be carrying a pocket knife with me and some earbuds. Honestly, I'm getting frustrated with these earbuds because the charges don't last long. These are Anchor. What is it? Soundwave, I think, by Anchor. But I also have a pair of Beats earbuds. The Beats don't even last a full evening. So I may end up, if I want earbuds on trail, which I probably will, I'll probably just buy a cheap pair of Bluetooth earbuds, honestly, that I can replace if they break or I lose them, whatever. So, and my Cadillacs, those are the Ultra Lone Peak 9s, and they are the waterproof edition because starting on the Appalachian Trail, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet. This is going to keep my feet mostly dry and warm. They worked perfectly up in Colorado when it started snowing. My feet didn't get nearly as cold as when I was wearing my Lone Peak 8s, just the regular shoes. So this is going to be my first pair of shoes on trail, and then when I have to replace them, probably up around trail days in Damascus, I'll get a regular pair of Ultra Lone Peak 9s, not the waterproof versions. And I'll just have to deal with my feet being wet. But by then, it's going to be closer to summer. It's going to be warm. I won't have to worry about my feet being cold if they're wet. So, and my trekking poles, I have a pair of Alpine Start trekking poles. It's the ones I've been using for the past couple of years. They work great. I'm using those on trail. The tent doesn't require trekking poles for the tent itself, but it has like an awning that zips out that you can prop up with trekking poles and stake out with guy lines. So that will come in handy. Eventually down the road, I would like to get an ultralight tent, but I just can't afford it right now if I'm going to have money to hike the Appalachian Trail. So that's pretty much my gear. Let me go ahead and turn you back around. Yeah, so that's pretty much my gear. So as far as, Kat, you're going to have to move. I'm fixing to sit down there. Move. I'll sit on you. I told you. Sylvester. Say hi. Say hi. Anyway, it's my wife's cat. Oh, God. Sorry. So, I've got my itinerary all lined out for getting to Amicalola Falls State Park, I'm flying out of Austin early in the morning on Saturday, February 28th. And I will be arriving in Atlanta at just after 11. So it's about a 2-hour flight. My flight leaves at 8. If the math doesn't work for that, just know that there's a time change from Central Standard Time to Eastern Standard Time. So I'll be basically losing an hour. So that's why the math says there's 3 hours instead of 2. But anyway, once I get to Atlanta, I'm going to jump on the red line of the MARTA train and take it to Sandy Springs Station. And I'm going to wait at the REI that's right there for Ron, the shuttle service. He's the one that drives that Toyota 4Runner with the yellow blazing on the windshield. I've seen him in a couple of videos driving it. It's kind of cool. So all I really have left to do is buy my food and some smart water bottles. I wish the 1 liter bottles came with the sports nozzles, but they don't. You have to get the 750 milliliter bottles to get the sports nozzles. So that's why I saved those. So I can just buy the liter bottles and not have to worry about buying the smaller bottle to get the sports nozzles. I mean, you can buy sports nozzles by themselves, but if you're going to drink water anyway, just get them on the water bottle. But anyway, so yeah, Ron's going to pick me up. I kind of digressed. Ron's picking me up at the REI. He's picking me up a fuel canister because you can't fly with those, compressed canisters. And he's going to take me to the Amicalola Falls Visitor Center. I looked at getting a lodge room up there, but it's like $150. It's like $223 with tax. No, not spending that. I'm probably just going to find a tent spot, pop up my tent, and the next morning if I didn't get my hang tag before they close on the 28th, I'll get my hang tag on March 1st, and I'll get my arch photo there behind the visitor center, and I will hike up the falls, making my way to Springer Mountain. And I'll probably stay at the Springer shelter, depending on how I feel, or I may go on to the first shelter, which I think is the Hawk shelter. I'm not sure. I did go ahead and get the maps on Far Out, so I've paid for that. So that's how I'm getting to the trail. All my travel's already paid for and everything. Now, I wanted to touch on something that I haven't said before on this channel. It's something I've been planning to do for my thru-hike videos. I joined, I got a subscription for Suno.com, making music, and I've made an entire playlist to use in my videos. So I hope y'all enjoy the music. A lot of it is instrumental Appalachian folk music, which, it's the Appalachian Trail. I want something appropriate. But I also did some country songs with lyrics. that are trail specific. I don't think anybody's done that before on thru-hike videos. So I may be the first, and we'll see how it plays out. Like, one of the songs I have is about the Fontana Dam. Another song I have is about being in the Smoky Mountains. Another song I have is basically, following people's footprints on the Appalachian Trail, the people who've come before. And there's a lot of history written into these lyrics. I didn't write the lyrics, the AI did, but I told it exactly what I wanted. I want about this place, the historical and cultural facts woven in, and the history, And it did a really good job. I think y'all are going to really, really enjoy these songs. And once I'm done with the trail, I'm probably going to take all of the best songs from that playlist and upload them as an album onto Spotify and Apple Music so people can download it and enjoy it. And I've also started a playlist for the Pacific Crest Trail. I'm getting ahead of myself. So, surprise! I hope y'all enjoy it. If y'all want to get a sneak peek, y'all can go on suno.com, and my artist name is Gecko's Trails. Big surprise. So, and I don't just have those songs on there. I have over 200 songs, ranging from black death metal to classical music. And there's a lot of good songs on there. Doesn't cost anything to listen, but the reason I had to get a subscription is you can have a free membership and make songs. They give you like 50 points a day to use to make songs, but you don't have the commercial rights to use those songs for royalties unless you're a subscriber. So I became a subscriber. That way there's not any, conflict with YouTube using the music, and I'll post, at the end of each video, a little disclaimer about each song, and I'll have the, suno.com/Gecko's Trails, and it's the same name as the YouTube channel, so it shouldn't be a problem. If it is, we'll work it out. But I'm still a ways from being monetized. I think you have to have 1,000 subscribers to be monetized, and we're sitting at 255 right now. So, but once I get on trail, that's going to change. I hope, especially when people say, "Oh, he's got music. Oh, this is really good music." So I don't know. We'll see. These 4.5 weeks until I leave are going to be the longest 4.5 weeks of my life. I am so ready to get out on trail, but it is too cold to get out there now, or I'd be out there. I do not like the cold. I mean, yeah. After living in New York for 10 years, I'm done with living in cold weather. So, I really don't want to be camping in cold weather. I know there's going to be cold days once I get out there. I'm just going to have to deal with it. But if I can avoid it, I will. And I know we've been having some very unpredictable, weird weather lately with this latest ice storm that blew through. I hope everybody that's already on trail was safe and got to safety before it hit. And I know there's this cyclone bomb that's fixing to hit, which is basically like a tropical storm on land, on the East Coast. So it's probably going to hit some portions of the Appalachian Trail. Leave my tent bag alone. You don't need to be tearing stuff up, cat. Sorry. So, I know that gear list video wasn't like super organized. I tried my best. But I got everything in there that I'm taking. And I keep thinking that I'm forgetting something like that's super important. Like I'm going to get out on the trail and like, what the hell was I thinking? Why didn't I buy this? Why didn't I pack this? But I keep going through everything and I don't see where I'm missing anything. I mean, I got my backpack. I got my spot device for emergencies. Leave that alone, cat. I'm fixing to have to go up there and make him move. Anyway, yeah, I've got my backpack. I've got my tent. I've got my sleeping bag. I've got my sleeping mat and my sleeping pad, inflatable pad. I've got every layer of clothes that I would need. I've got waterproof bags. I'm probably going to end up getting a compactor liner or a compactor bag to go in the main compartment of my tent. Dog, leave it. You don't need to be messing with that gear either. Don't huff at me. I've got all my electronics. Another thing. When I get out on trail, I'm going to be using Zen nicotine pouches instead of smoking cigarettes. At least while I'm hiking, I might have like a cigarette in the morning and a cigarette before I go to bed. But the plan is to use the Zen to kind of break me from the habit of smoking, the actual physical actions of smoking, because that's honestly what I'm addicted to. You know, the smoking, that the act of smoking a cigarette and the routine of it. If I can kind of break that cycle and be using the pouches instead of smoking actual cigarettes, that's going to help me later on not smoke cigarettes at all, and then I can wean myself off the patches because I don't really like the patches or the pouches. So they're going to be easier to quit than the actual cigarettes. So, crossing my fingers. Yeah, I just got to maybe get a compactor bag, buy my food, and I may need one more waterproof bag for my food. I'm not sure yet. I've got to kind of pack everything away and see if I have a bag already that I can use. So, yeah. The only other thing I'm worried about is checking my backpack on the airline. I'm going to try to pack the accordion mat and my trekking poles inside the bag, so I don't. And of course, I'm going to have to put the spot device in my electronics bag in the backpack. I don't want to have anything in the exterior pouches. Maybe not even in the brain pouches. You know, I would like everything to be clipped and to be stored inside the clipped portion of the main compartment of the backpack. But I think I remember seeing a video of somebody checking their backpack, and they actually had it. They ended up putting it in a big plastic bag and tying the bag. I don't know if that's something the airlines do with every backpack. I'm hoping that it is, because I'm not bringing a big bag myself. Hopefully I don't have any issues with stuff I'm putting in the backpack, like my pocket knives. That's pretty much going to be the only thing I'm going to have the issue with. I'm probably going to end up putting the knives in my cook system. I don't know if the pocket knife itself will fit in there, but I'm going to try to put it somewhere where it's inside something else, you know. And I don't know if it'll show up on an x-ray or not. But if it does, it'll be a checked bag in the belly of the plane. So hopefully it won't be a problem. I'll Google that before I leave. I may just have to leave my pocket knife here and buy another one when I get there at a gas station. It's a gas station pocket knife. It's a Shark brand. But it's a decent pocket knife. I've had no problems with it. It's nice and sharp. So, that's pretty much it. I can't wait to get out there and get to hiking. Honestly. So, I'll go ahead and wrap this video up. I think the next video I'm going to do, it'll be a short one. I made a list of all the thru-hiker terminology that I could think of, and I'm going to go through them in a video. So, because not everybody watching my channel, watching my thru-hike, is going to be all that familiar with thru-hiking starting out. Especially some of my friends and family, you know. So I wanted to do a video kind of explaining what all the terminology is, like blue blaze, yellow blaze, pink blaze, nobo, sobo, flip-flop, all that kind of stuff. And even some of you watching now are going, what's that Chinese that he's speaking? You know, I don't know any of those terms. So I wanted to do that. And maybe run through some of the cultural differences. Not cultural, but some of the differences of living on trail versus living in the real world. Like having to hitchhike, running into trail angels, having trail magic, you know, stuff like that. Because the things that happen on the trail don't happen in the real world, really. I mean, I'm glad that they do happen on the trail, and it's something that helps thru-hikers immensely, and we are so grateful for them and for the generosity and support that they show thru-hikers having these adventures. So that's pretty much it. If you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button. While you're at it, swipe that notification bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video to this channel. Also, go ahead and hit the like button. It shows me some love, and it helps with the algorithm. So, that being said, y'all stay safe. Y'all stay sane. And get out and hike a trail. Anywhere. Green space. Walk around your neighborhood. You know. Get out and get some fresh air and some sunshine. Don't be a mole rat like me for years working nights. You know, I even got the bald head to, you know, got that mole rat persona working, you know. Anyway, that's not my trail name. Till next time, bye.